After the disaster that broke out in Raccoon City in September 1998, Ada was never given another field job. Not because she lost the sample, but she also got shot. Which would have been fine, but while admitted at the hospital, she claimed that it was a workplace injury and used her work insurance. But the problem is that the provider was United Healthcare. And to no one's surprise, they refused the claim, saying that zombie-infected Raccoon City was out of their coverage. So her company now had to pay thousands of dollars. While it sucked for Ada to not being able to follow her passion, no one truly understood why she lost the sample. But the truth is, during that mission, she fell in love. She was head over heels for this long-haired, handsome fella named Leon Kennedy. So after 6 years of hard work at her 9 to 5 and wondering every day why people called him a rookie, it was time for a change. She needed to get over Leon and find a man for herself. So she accumulated all of her 3 paid leaves that she gathered throughout the years, decided to dye her hair, and take a nice cruise to Spain to find a long-haired man of her dreams. With the power of online dating apps at that time, which was emails, she found a guy named Luis, the perfect candidate that she was looking for. Long-haired, tall, bearded, European, and a medical expert, which would have been useful a few years ago, but better late than never, I guess. But being a woman is not easy, and to make her first impression count, she decided to wear the finest outfit she owned. But she didn't realize that wearing heels on a vacation is not a good idea. For those of you who are familiar with these type of challenges, you might quickly realize that this challenge is heavily inspired by a certified masochist named Zero. He described this challenge as
that only someone with a total disregard for their own life would attempt to do something like this.
So today, I'm gonna be attempting to achieve the trophy Ada the Spy without running, which means playing the game on professional, which is the hardest difficulty. Finish the game under 2 hours and 30 minutes with no more than 10 saves. No bonus weaponry allowed, and most importantly, no running allowed. And to be honest with you, I had no idea if this challenge was even possible. But going for that achievement without walking is definitely equivalent of inducing brain aneurysm. The obvious keys to this challenge are to avoid as much unnecessary pathing as possible, and tons of heals, as walking through only a handful of enemies without taking damage is inevitable. Continuing with our story, Ada shows up tied in bedsheets to hint that she's a fan of BDSM to a dungeon, where Luis decided to meet up and have a romantic candlelight dance. Unbeknownst to Luis that our panties are now wet, he tells us that there is a coat-wearing crab looking to pounce on middle-aged women. Telling him that I'm a strong independent woman, we decided to meet again at the church where he can give me his shiny metal sample, while we take on Placenta. This fight is pretty straightforward and very easy if you know how to hit your shots. Not making an excuse, but I am playing this game on my PS5. And if you guys had played shooters on consoles versus PC with a keyboard and mouse, you will know that it is much easier to aim and shoot with a mouse than on a controller. It is also very easy to use the pause and the aim strat that speedrunners use to not miss a shot, which not only makes the fight quick, but leaves you with more resources. This is the reason I said in the beginning that not taking damage is inevitable, as it is not possible to walk past all these beautiful cultists of Los Illuminados. While this statement is true, it's partially due to me having to use a controller, and mostly due to the fact that I am shit at the game. After the vanishing of Placenta, and with our panties now fully dry, we start a slow walk to the village. If you don't know, you can complete this area in total stealth. By walking straight, we can give this guy a hickey on his neck. Then upon entering this door, if you walk close to this wall, we can stealth take down this guy as well. After picking up our first treasure, we walk down through here to collect the sniper with the scope. After that, we wait for this guy to walk around here, jump down, take him down, and walk to the next location without alerting a single catapult. But wait, there's a treasure up there. Let me just quickly get it. So take this guy down and...
to disable the...
Holy shit. This was a mistake. This was a mistake. Quickly loading up a fresh game, we make it through the placenta fight by the skin of our teeth. Now accepting the fact that the treasure we got was the friends we made along the way, grappling up here and taking an arrow up my ass before climbing this ladder will be just the showcase of my luck throughout this game. As I was about to use this cannon, and as you can see, healing is going to be the most important asset in this run. Blasting out these crossbow wielding cultists, we finally make it through the first chapter, barely under 7 minutes. By doing some quick maths, 7 minutes per chapter comes out to 49 minutes for this run. I was happy thinking that I was about to make a new speedrun world record, but the gaming Jesus has other plans for me. Continuing our search for our lost prince, heading towards the church. This area is very simple. As we climb down, a few enemies shows up, including the brute. By taking out the sniper and aiming here, you can hit a collateral if you're lucky, headshot if you're normal, and you can hit a flying axe if you're unlucky, like this. To avoid getting surrounded by enemies, we can quickly shoot this barrel by putting my skills on full display here, and with another attempt in the books, I quickly arrive back here just to get my face reconstructed. Arriving back for the third time, we issue out the necessary lead to every individual without any sexism. Going through this little area is very easy. All you need to do is throw a flashbang and just make a run. Unfortunately, we don't have such luxury, but we do have our 2 flashes. Shooting this roof camper first to give enemies the time to close in on me, paired with a perfectly cooked flash. Waking up from a concussion and throwing our second flash should give us just enough time. Now walking at record speed to pick up that precious yellow herb so I can mix it with my overflowing pool of nothing, praying to the gaming Jesus to help me squeeze my way through this, and as you can see, I was about 5 meters away to be able to grapple my way out. And that, for my US viewers, it was about 2.4 bald eagles. After getting my spine readjusted by the cow chiropractor, I was back feeling better than ever. Never mind. Sending placenta away for the 5th time and arriving back to this area, we received 2 back-to-back sweet chin music to help us with our jawline. We barely make it out alive.
No, don't do it!
And that arrow just burned my pubic hair. Upon reaching the cabin with the burning smell through our nostrils, it was time to get to the church. We can also kill these enemies in stealth and shoot this barrel for this couple. After that, just kill these guys and... On my next attempt, as I was about to leave the castle, something happened that I didn't even know was possible. With so many resets before my first save was making me worried about this challenge. Anyways, speed walking back to this corner, I face my arch nemesis again. On a fresh attempt, using the same flash strat as before, grappling an enemy will bring us close enough to be able to squeeze out of there and saving ourselves a flash. Making through cabin again and arriving at the bridge with my cheeks absolutely clenched. With my mind still at the brute fight, I was walking into these guys. And you can imagine the nerves when I just hit the absolute perfect parry at the perfect time to give us just enough space to grapple away. Looking around from the top, I see an oddly similar man. Convincing myself that this is not the same guy I was thinking about, we continued our search for Luis. The cliffside is nothing special. Making our way while shooting some blue medallions, we finally arrive at the church after shoving a knife down their throat. Ringing the church bell disguised as a mating call, we got stood up by Luis. After hearing some abnormal sounds coming from inside the church,
You're my sweetie pie. You're
we decided to move on. Now, sports fans, as you might know that these guys will not attack you and you can easily walk past them. Also, the first guy here is the only guy in the whole game that's wearing a pair of glasses. By stabbing him and making him resign from live subscription, before I can even pick up the meta glasses, his friends immediately start literally seconds away from the first merchant, and most importantly, my first save of the run just vanished over my addiction of treasure and sent us back to the main menu to do it all over again. Which made me wonder, is this video by any chance sponsored by Vans? Using the power of normal shoes, we quickly made our way back. Finally arriving at the merchant, we make our first save, and upgrading the rifle to issue out democracy to Placenta for the second time, you can guess how it goes. After dying multiple times and getting weirdest type of Spanish kiss by having something shoved in my body, absolutely disgusting. Do it again. Attempt after attempt, I was ready to accept my fate when I was left with 1 HP with no heals in my inventory. You can imagine my disbelief when I got this crit with my remaining 10 bullets and get the prompt, which was the final blow to end this fight. Sending Placenta away for the second time, we will make our slow walk toward Mendes' house with about 2 hours remaining. Usually I wouldn't recommend saving here, but I don't want to die during the Mendes' chase, and the thought of fighting Placenta again makes my balls tickle. So I made the executive decision to save here. Saving the chicken here provides us with a free range egg, and now with protein running through our veins, I barge into the shitter to absolutely shit on this piece of shit. Never mind. Finding the key and unlocking a drawer gives us the location of Luis and triggers Mendes in this corner. And I don't know how he gets there, but here begins our slow chase. Exceeding our daily dosage of fisting within seconds, you won't be wrong to think that there is no way I can make it through like this, right? And to my surprise, you'd be wrong, as we made it on our first try.
Enough of this.
Still after me, huh?
Giving them the slip and holding my urge to get the treasure near the Dynamite Valley, we make our third save. Going in the abandoned factory is pretty linear. Stab these guys, take this nice jacket which smells oddly familiar, and we're down. Getting out, on the other hand, is questionable. Collecting the crossbow and going straight for the wheel on professional difficulty is actually the real strat. Now you see, for reasons unknown, if you start turning the wheel as soon as you get here, you are immune by the Chainsaw Sister's swings. Until you finish turning it. Getting 360 no-scoped by this chainsaw-wielding bitch, we quickly load up the save and do it again. And this time, I wasn't taking any chances, so using a flash or a grenade will provide us just enough time to give them the slip again. Passing out in the dirt and waking up in bed just like a kid, we find out we got some help by a local tourist guide who had put us in bed with a kiss on the forehead. Before heading out, he tells us that we are now infected with chronic diarrhea. Now, with the desperation to find the only certified medical expert in this whole village at his peak, we arrive back at the village square. Slowly making our way and using TMP as a keep out, we quickly loot around the farm and... Wait. What am I in here for? It's probably not that important anyways. So we walk down the bridge which spawns in the El Gigante. Shooting this turret abuser a few times in the head will expose the plaga. And the sniper here is our best friend, showing off my insane skill. I was quickly left with no sniper bullets. Using whatever resources left forced us to kill the enemies on the ground and loot them, which resulted in I was left with no healings. No TMP bullets, no blast arrows. All I had was a default pistol, which is like shooting spitballs. Dealing with all that left us in a disappointment. A disappointment for El Gigante, where despite his huge efforts, we were killed by an one-handed villager. The thing I just realized after dying is that I was in there to save my progress, which I never did. So this reset just took me all the way back to the factory. Throwing all the progress down the toilet, we arrive at the fight again without flushing, and this time with a save. Repeating the same strat and expecting a different result is exactly the copium that's been fueling me. Using everything at my disposal, killing every enemy on the ground, it was time to end this. With one rifle bullet to spare, one of the hardest parts of the challenge is now over. Arriving at the castle with my dream man, working as a dream team where I shoot everything and he provides emotional support. Hitting this insane wallbang that does 0 damage, Luis decided it's better to run through the fire than be on a team with someone with a very particular set of skills. Not knowing the concept of privacy, I decided to follow him in the most intense chase sequence you'll ever see. Oh, I'm coming, Luis. I'm gonna get you. Luis finds out that the fire burned his decade-old collection that he named Homework, along with the suppressant. He also reveals that he was also infected by chronic diarrhea once, and the cure requires 3 ingredients that we need to find out if we want to stop shitting ourselves every 2 minutes. Waving temporarily by to our senor, we find the first ingredient. Wait, is that who I think it is? Running into Leon does bring back all the memories, and those memories bring back you. Leaving the room telling him whoever smelled it dealt it, he was left defeated. Being an expert in drilling, or getting drilled, this room is an easy task. It can be done with plenty of time to spare, which brings us to our next save. Taking damage twice before even reaching the knight's room should tell you how it will go, but surprisingly, it doesn't. By walking back here, we shoot this first knight before it starts walking, which gives us just enough time to turn around and shoot this guy who is now breathing down our neck, and letting a flash take care of them. After the flash, walking here, the furniture made from paper mache will protect us from this knight's first attack, giving us just enough time to issue out our own sweet chin music. Shooting the crossbow fence sitters in between gives us the perfect strategy for this room. Repeating the same and using all 3 flashes make quick work of the remaining enemies. Now you can call it my absolute skill. Or skill. We now arrive at the fountain where heals are served with a side of mercury poisoning. Shooting few medallions before exposing this red cultist to atheism, throwing a flash will stun him long enough to get a few headshots in. We can use another flash we found here, and we put him down before he could glorious us his lost plaga. Shooting rest of the medallions and clearing some of the remaining cultists, we move further down the castle. Finding all 3 ingredients and handing him only one is what Ada's nature is all about, and in exchange he lets us touch his fancy rock. Luis casually cooked up his 99.1% pure suppressant that causes constipation in order to tackle our diarrhea problem. After doing some hardcore drugs together, Luis was trying to take me, a woman under the influence, to show, which I can only assume, his other hard rock in possession. Not interested in looking at another tiny rock, I push him away and, Luis being a gentleman asking what's wrong. Replying that nothing is wrong and he won't understand, I ask him to give me some space while Placenta is back and are following us by smells of our diarrhea-infused farts. With the power suppressant running through our veins, Placenta was unable to sense us. Descending through the chandeliers made of 100% organic natural ingredients, we arrive at the castle sewers. Shooting this lock from here allows us to reach the handle quickly, saving us some precious time, which we are in dire need of. We use our upgrade ticket to max out the sniper's damage before we make our save number 6. After shooting some glowing water, we arrive at the double Garrador room. On Professional, the number of Garradors increased by 100% compared to any other difficulty. As a professional myself, the optimal way to do it is to aim right here to hit a collateral, and shooting him again will take down the first one. Using a flash for the second one gives us plenty of time to take him down as well. As the dopamine was rushing to my brain, I didn't realize that I was about to get another dopamine overdose as I made into Guinness Book of World Records for being the first person in the world who got killed by a dead Garrador. Loading up the save quickly, and just like your mother's boyfriend, we were back like we never left. Whispering in their ears that they are about to be unalived made them rage, and we quickly put them down to rest. All that work caused some rumbling in our stomach, which meant that we just revealed our position. Pulling the bridge down reveals Pasanta's massive tail. Where was he hiding it? Now this boss fight is very easy if you do have a lot of heals. In all honesty though, if you have a maxed out sniper, which is basically a magnum at this point, it doesn't take much to take him down, if you're somewhat decent at the game. Phase 2 is much easier than Phase 1. Just shooting her vagina will make her fall to her knees. Wait. Shooting what looks like her belly does all the damage we need, and she goes down before the novice even get a chance to spawn. Getting a FaceTime with Louise, which I hang up immediately because who's gonna pay for those roaming charges? Do you know how expensive it is? Leaving him with no choice but to leave a voicemail, which upon listening sounds like he's, I don't know, not interested in me anymore. Being a woman first and foremost, I was thinking how he could do that to me, but more importantly, I couldn't resist but to get the fancy rope back in memory of Louise. As we were running out of time at the clock tower, astute viewers might know what's coming. Turning this handle opens the door, and as you might have expected, we can't make it through without running. Since I'm playing on PS5, I don't have access to the mods that might help me in this situation. Calling it a fail or not is up to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Arriving at the Path of Penitence, we make our 7th and very important save, because we'll be coming back to it very quickly. Moving forward after grabbing a freebie, we can explode the head of these 3 guys. Seeing the AI's aiming skill does make me feel better, but that's about to change. While I always felt some sense of death around this area even though it never happened before, but clearing this without running makes my very cheeks clench. On my second attempt, I came up with a genius strat which is achieved by insane knowledge of basic mathematics. Instead of going through the middle, I walk along the wall, which reduces the distance just enough for us to be able to walk under without converting into a pancake. Or does it? Reloading the last save at speed fast enough to break the very fabric of time, we were back. Attempt number 3 is where we achieve peak. Wait, what? Attempt number 4 is where we achieve perfection. Shooting these guys prematurely ensures our safe travels upstairs. Getting a 3-hit combo and getting dirty fingers shoved in my eyes wasn't on my bingo cards, but there's nothing to do but to take that knockout like Jake Paul. Now on our attempt number 946, we make our slow ascent where we see Leon providing lead poisoning to a 20-year-old, 60-year-old man. Yes, he was actually 20 in the game.
I'm only 20 years old.
Turns out that Krauser now has our rock, and in absolute no rush catching up to him while enjoying the wind on my face, we take the elevator down and walk towards the dock. Seriously? Who left his key here? Hearing footsteps and finding out it's no one else but my ex, I had no choice but to take a very awkward ride with him, where we're thinking about the same things. He asks a very important question, and feeling that he wants to trust me, and being a woman with a kind heart, I decided to forgive him for the time I manipulated and used him. It's so hard to be a woman sometimes. Arriving at the island and aiming for Sadler's balls, we get interrupted by the same tourist who talks like this. He gives us a project to upload ChatGPT on the island's main server so we can open a data center there. We take another elevator down and make our next save before the wrecking ball area. Now this area is about finesse, viewer. A little bit goes a long way. You'll see. Taking 10 steps back to be able to take one forward, we have to keep our pace until the cutscene starts. Making past all of that on our first try is nothing less than exceptional work. Opening this door and walking past the next one will trigger the cutscene and... Only a few hamburgers away from the next area and dying is giving me some flashbacks that I don't want to think about. Next attempt was more or less the same, but this time with 2 flashbangs. You can see my concern as I was looking back. Seeing Leon with another woman is something I cannot forgive him for, so we give him the silent treatment by hanging up his call. Walking up to the lab, we pop their heads before spawning a middle-aged woman with sole purpose of trying to kiss you on your neck. Getting hit by a long-range uppercut, it's only fair that I break her kneecaps. Now taking this absolute unit of power and putting it... Huh? Making our way to Australia, we arrive at the Iron Maiden's room. Using a flash that doesn't work, and a grenade that does, nothing. After smoking all our herbs, we barely squeeze out with no heals left. Shooting these guys before getting on the lift does help, and as I was riding into something very inconvenient, I realized that I had worse. With all that thinking, we arrive at our 9th save. We can disable the first turret by aiming our crossbow and shooting here, before jumping down, which helps our odds of survival. Arriving at the shooting range where I am the moving target, arriving on the right side, we need to keep an enemy alive, preferably this guy with a bat, in order to use the speedrun strat like in Leon's playthrough. Tucking ourselves here and throwing a flash or parry like this will open them up for a kick, aiming to throw them here, where turret will shoot at this guy, letting us walk through unscathed. Arriving at the comms facility, we face another problem. While it is possible to outwalk the first chase sequence, and throwing a nade or blast arrow will break this wall, allowing you to walk through it and saving you from going under the floor. But the second chase before the keypad lock is just impossible to walk through. And when I say that, trust me, I tried walking back, normal, throwing a flash, nothing works. And with that being said, here lies our second failure of the run. Again, let me know if you're willing to accept this in the comments. After this door, it is possible to just walk until we get the grapple prompt. And never forget to provide a shotgun to this guy's face before going through the lasers. Now connecting ChatGPT to the server and uploading Wesker's private pictures for the entire island to see, we make our way back. Now the laser sections are just some QTEs, so there's nothing much to do. Taking a quick jet ski ride, we arrive at the chapter 7, and that marks our 10th and final save. Throwing a flash or two gives us just enough time to get past these guys, and with their insanely high IQ, the mine will hold them off for long enough to be able to take the elevator. Throwing a heavy grenade will take out the 2 enemies, and with 2 headshots to this guy, helps us with the preparation of the barbecue ribs. Stealing the stolen red beret so we can sell it, we quickly arrive at the saddler's office, where we see Leon getting tortured trying to save his dork. Saving him and telling him that he owes us one, we fight Saddler. Now in order to not humiliate Saddler in front of you guys with my insane skills, I decided to sell every stolen item to buy the rocket launcher.
Wayward lamb, serve it.
Shoving a massive explosive down his throat point blank was enough to take him down and give us skin cancer. Surprisingly, getting his tentacle shoved down my throat had the same reaction. With us now getting captured and Leon repaying his debt by hitting this impossible shot, there's no way that didn't hurt. Now providing Leon with verbal support from far away, we look for a new rocket launcher. Zooming onto here will spawn the third guy, which we can snipe down from here. We can shoot these crossbow guys from up here too. Using this barrel and throwing a flash will blind them just enough so we can make our way, and now all I have to do is to be careful. Not again. I cannot comprehend the amount of hate I have against these brutes. They're the reason of majority of my fails, and at the very end, literally minutes away from finishing the game, they still won't let me go in peace. I told you guys at the start of this challenge that these will be my arch nemesis. Arriving back here, passing these brutes as they follow me, I almost didn't make it again. Now loosening my cheeks a bit after grappling here, and hearing the peaceful sounds of rocket exploding on my face, throwing a nade and shooting off the rest of the guys and the eye is easy work. Until my arch nemesis arrives from second chapter. Now all what's left to do is to throw a flash, walk past these guys and take the elevator, and the game is over. Equipping the flash, and as I was about to throw, before Sadler could finish his sentence for the third time, we were back, and this time, it has to be different. With the pleasant views of rocket flying close enough to shave my pubic hairs, we grapple our way back, pouring every single utility at my disposal to make sure that nothing touches me, taking Sadler's eye out of the way and showing these guys what a grenade feels like between your legs, and issuing out some personal karma to this dickhead to finally take the lift. Oh my fucking god. Walking past and getting fully ignored by Ashley, pretending like I don't care, but I did. By grappling and turning the crane so we can throw a rocket launcher 50 foot down, neglecting weapon safety 101, and Leon shoots the rocket, killing Sadler and giving everyone a healthy dose of radiation within a 100-kilometer radius. Telling Leon that my vacation is over and I have to be at work next morning, I take a faster way back using the helicopter. Now, thinking about what I've lost and what I've found, we left the dream of being with a long-haired man to our destiny. Now for the final answer. Can you beat Resident Evil 4 Remake separate ways with S plus Ank on professional difficulty without running? My heart breaks to tell you guys that the answer is no. After tens of hours, countless resets, numerous kicks, it was all for nothing. For our first attempt, loading up the last save one last time, I decided not to waste a single second. We were back, and this time, it was different.
One shot, that's all you got. Take it right now, before you get lost, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Write your own story, you control the plot, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Could drop dead now of a fucking blood clot, yeah. One shot, give it all you got.
So what's the answer now? Can you S plus professional separate ways without walking? I'm sorry sports fans, it is still no. No, you can't. I am out of words at how close I was. After multiple attempts of squeezing every second possible, this was literally my best run for Chapter 7. Let me ask you guys for one last time, what do you think? Would you guys give me a pass and accept this challenge as completed? Or would you want to see me getting tortured one more time? If you chose the latter, I have some news for you. You see, I have a little problem. Apart from collecting the treasures, the dopamine I get is something that keeps me going. Knowing that I won't be able to look myself in the eyes if I gave up like a loser, I loaded up the 9th save at the Normandy beach and started my journey back. Saving only 23 seconds wasn't a huge task, but the fear of failing again was making my ass sweat. So I did my best for the 3rd attempt of this run, and here we are. The answer you've all been waiting for is here. Yes you can. With that out of the way, it was a pleasure guys. If you liked the video, please subscribe and leave a like so I know you guys are interested in these type of videos, whilst providing me motivation to go through something like this again. This was my 2nd challenge video on this channel, and with Resident Evil 9 around the corner, I would suggest you to stay tuned.